This is Class 91.3.
Are fuel prices moving up, down, or doing waka waka? Is the city really behaving, or it's just pretending for the cameras? Well, that's why you need a show that breaks it all down without breaking your head. The Afternoon Business Review gives you clear analysis, fresh updates, and smart insights without the stress. My name is Oye Ankrah, and I bring you everything you need to know in the world of business Mondays to Thursdays at 12:30. Let's have lunch together. The Afternoon Business Review, where Ghana's Business Day gets explained. Palm kernel and its byproducts plays a vital role in Ghana's economy by driving rural employment, generating foreign exchange through exports, and contributes less than 0.5% to national GDPs through, although the broader palm oil sector, which includes palm oil, typically contributes between 1% to 1.6% to the overall economy in major producing countries like Ghana and Indonesia. The agricultural sector, where these products originate, accounts for roughly 23.5% of Ghana's GDP. Now, smallholder farmers and primarily rural women depend heavily on palm kernel processing to generate income. The sale of extracted palm kernel oil and byproducts serves as a major economic buffer in agricultural communities. Ghana actively exports palm kernel oil to international markets, which creates foreign currency reserves and strengthens the country's balance of trade. Hello and welcome to the Afternoon Business Review, where we tell you what moves money and markets. It's a good time to go to the commodities market to find out how much crude oil, gold, and cocoa are being priced on that market. First, crude oil is selling at 76 pesos. Yeah, we are still below the $80 mark, so it's some good news for us. Yes, $76 per barrel. Did I say pesos? $76 per barrel. I'm sorry. Yeah, so that's how much crude oil is being sold. Remember, we went as high as $100+ dollars per barrel. So it's good news that we are still below the $80 mark. Now, gold is being pegged at $4,331. $4,331, and cocoa is priced at $4,318. $4,318, that's per ton on the world market. So speaking of cocoa, Cote d'Ivoire and Ghana held a high-level summit on cocoa economy, and they jointly published a declaration. And according to them, at the meeting in Abidjan on June 16, 2026, on the occasion of the Cote d'Ivoire-Ghana High-Level Summit on the future of the cocoa economy, His Excellency Ouattara and President of the Ivory Coast and the President of Ghana, President Mahama, renewed their shared commitment to promoting a sustainable cocoa economy, placing the farmer at the center of priorities for sector governance and value sharing. This commitment is built on the Abidjan Declaration of March 26, 2018, which serves as the foundation for cooperation between the two states in the cocoa sector. Following a review of the progress made in recent years, the two heads of state, considering that Cote d'Ivoire and Ghana account for about 60% of global cocoa production, which confers upon them shared leadership and a special responsibility for the future of the sector. Now, recognizing that notable achievements of their joint efforts are the creation of the Cote d'Ivoire Ghana Cocoa Initiative, the establishment of the living income differential, the harmonization of marketing and price announcement to producers, the implementation of traceability and the African regional standards for sustainable cocoa, and the cooperation between research institutes to combat the cocoa swollen shoot virus disease. They are also aware that the sector remains exposed to major challenges such as price volatility, illegal gold mining, adverse effects of climate change, the rise in the use of cocoa substitutes and equivalents, and the increasing demands of international sustainability regulations. They are also aware that Africa, which accounts for about 80% of global production, still captures only a marginal share of the value in the cocoa chocolate supply chain. They are convinced that the fair remuneration for farmers is a pillar of the sector's sustainability and a requirement for economic justice and social stability. Consequently, they have agreed to harmonize farm gate price policies to optimize producer remuneration, stabilize the market, and strengthen their commercial cooperation through several key measures, including market synergy, the alignment of premiums, and the harmonization of crop season calendars. They have also agreed to guarantee producers fair and decent remuneration and place them at the heart of the cocoa value chain. They have also agreed to strengthen scientific cooperation with a focus to the integrated management of cocoa diseases, especially swollen shoots, and they have agreed to create added value by increasing processing capacity, encouraging regional and continental trade, and stimulating national and regional consumption of cocoa-based products. And finally, they have agreed to expand the Cote d'Ivoire Ghana Cocoa Initiative to other African countries to enhance regional cooperation, harmonize sector policies, strengthen collective bargaining power on global markets, and coordinate responses to the emerging challenges of the cocoa economy. So that is signed by both the president of Ivory Coast and the president of Ghana, President Alassane Ouattara, and President John Dramani Mahama at the summit that was held in Cote d'Ivoire. That's the Cote d'Ivoire Ghana High Level Summit, and it just ended yesterday. And as they ended it, they put out this joint declaration. So some for policies and reforms for the cocoa sector. I only brought you that because we spoke about the price of cocoa and it affects us because we, together with Ivory Coast, we are the major producers of cocoa in the world. So it is a big deal for us. Now let's move straight to the interbank market to find out how the currencies are being retailed, and the dollar is selling at 11 cedis 15 pesos. If you want to buy, you are likely to buy it at 11 cedis 14 pesos. The pound, that's the British pound, is trading at 14 cedis 98 pesos, and if you want to buy, you are likely to get it at 14 cedis 97 pesos. The euro is going for 12 cedis 95 pesos, and you are likely to get it if you want to buy at 12 cedis 94 pesos. Remember, these are figures or how much the commercial banks are retailing the currencies. So the GCB Bank, the Absa Bank, the Standard Chartered Bank, all the commercial banks. And so these figures will be different at the Forex bureaus. And remember, it is illegal to go to the black market. Do not go to Tudu or Circle or somewhere within Adabraka. It's a good time to check out how your stocks are doing on the Ghana Stock Exchange. Kathleen Datsy of Databank has some update for us.
The stock market continued on its bullish momentum, closing with 4 gainers and 3 laggards. The top gainers were ETI, First Atlantic Bank, Casapeco and Societe Generale, while MTN Ghana, Republic Bank, and the non-index gold declined. Driven by the price gains, the Ghana Stock Exchange Composite Index surged to a year-to-date gain of 66.94%, while the Data Bank Stock Index advanced to a year-to-date gain of 87.4%. MTN Ghana and GCB Bank traded the most, accounting for 73.38% of the market turnover after trading 989,919 shares across 26 counties. For Data Bank Research, Kevin Dazi.
And here in the studios of Class 91.3, my name is Oye Walton Ankrah, and this is the Afternoon Business Review. Now, Ghana's international tourism receipt fell by 10.14% in 2025, dropping from 4.83 billion, actually 4.83 billion in 2024 to 4.34 billion dollars in 2025. So it dropped from $4.83 billion in 2024 to $4.34 billion in 2025. This is according to the 2025 Ghana Tourism Report. Per the report, despite the decline in revenue, Ghana recorded 1,306,000 international tourist arrivals in 2025, representing a 1.4% increase above the 1,288,000 arrivals recorded in 2024, underscoring the country's continued appeal as a leading tourism destination in Africa. Now, the report further revealed that international arrivals in December rose from 126,000 in 2024 to 141,000 in 2025, representing an 11.35% increase. So today on the Afternoon Business Review, as our big conversation, we are sitting with the president of the Ghana Tourism Federation, Seth Okran. He is the president of the Ghana Tourism Federation. We want to find out why the arrival numbers went up, yet the receipts fell. Good afternoon, sir, and welcome to the Afternoon Business Review.
Good afternoon, Anawi.
Right.
It's a pleasure being here. And let me say good afternoon to all your wonderful listeners, and also to my able Executive Council members and the Governing Council members of the Ghana Tourism Federation. Yes, it's so interesting to see the arrivals, about 1.4% increase over 2024, and yet we have a decline in revenue, almost 490 million. That is quite significant. Yeah. There will be a lot of factors. I don't think it is one thing that led to that. I think that over the years, the year of return, beyond the return and all that, GT have done quite well by marketing Ghana abroad. So people are coming here. But the question is, what have we really done here so we let people spend money? Because the question is, they are here. Why didn't they spend money? You know, and various factors come to play. Between 2024 and now, you know, the current government have this agenda we call the big push, which you see construction everywhere. I don't know how well we have communicated this to our international arrivals. So when I'm in Ghana, last week I was in Cape Coast, and from Gomboa portion of the road is very terrible. It's scary as it's rain, right? So as a tourist, should I decide to go out there or stay in my room? Traffic situation in Accra is unbearable. You hear ping, 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 ping every day. Those few that can have access to police escort are able to go through it. What happened to the tourists? So if movement is not flowing, it will be a challenge. You can only visit one destination or one tourist site in a day. and they are here for maybe 7 days or 10 days, and they want to make use of their time. But so it is a good thing though, because Ghana is opening up. We are doing reconstruction, opening up all the major roads. What I think when it is done will be okay for us. But this is what tourism does. Tourism and hospitality cut across every sector. So if there's a communication between when this road should be done, or the contractor should have that in mind and at least make it motorable, some part of it, a portion of it, and then you move to it will help.
Yeah.
It will help a great deal. So that we can say
Contributed.
can
Oh,
contribute.
the road network.
Well, it's about movement.
Yes.
So how do you spend money
Yeah.
if you are stuck in one place?
Yeah.
Right. So that could be a factor. And there are other factors like, for example, my administration, realized that Ghana is known to be the center of culture, heritage. We led the independence and all that. We have Nkrumah here, Du Bois. We have great culture and heritage, right? Which we have to market. I think it's a time that we all sit as stakeholders to really look at tourism and be very intentional with it. Because I give you an example about the road traffic, right? Let me give you another example. Why would I travel all the way from the United States of America or Europe and come to Ghana and stay dine at the fancy 5-star hotel? There are many over there. You want to have the Ghana experience. And how do you have that Ghana experience? You will have it from our local cuisine, which is mostly managed by these chobbers, and all that. So we have a project to revamp, remodel all this chobber to make it a tourism asset, and the Dinkra, our symbols with the ceramics, pot and cups. It should be unique. This will give appetite for spending, and most importantly, customer service. I was in a restaurant, my cup kind of glass is empty, but the waiter is busy chatting, not even paying attention. So what will happen? You will go without spending, right? All I'm driving at is that this is a time for us to focus internally, right? People want to see new things. So if I've been to Ghana and there's nothing really compelling to go out there with this traffic and all that, I will stay in my hotel, and that will affect spending. So I think tourism cut across every sector. I think most of our roads now, you can see street lights, which is great. It's a good thing, that will encourage nightlife and all that. But we can do more. So I think stakeholders consultation meeting, the private sector, which we lead, and government, to see how best we can have a policy discussion that will promote. Because let me give you an example. If you go to Wuti Falls, it's a nice fall, right? But after oneness, you want to eat, you want to relax, or you want to even spend a night
over there,
right? Why not government give us incentives? Certain tourist site areas that there's no really nice hotel or whatever. If government can give tax rebate, investors will go there and build, and that is how you create new attractions, new tourism assets and all that. So when people come, it's not the same thing that were here last year.
They don't live in Accra.
They don't live in Accra. Because if you go to Cape Coast or you go to all these tourism sites, after the beautiful sightseeing, oneness, you want to eat, you want to relax. So I think that we have to be more intentional. When you look at country like Togo, they are coming. Benin, they are coming. They are our neighbors, right? We have advantage of being English-speaking country and all that. But if you look at Togo last year, they make around 800,000 arrivals,
Which is close to ours.
Close to ours. And they are being very intentional, because I think it's a time to all the stakeholders, from Accra Metro, the mayor of Accra, the immigration, the custom, the police, the sectors. Then we come out with a collective idea how we want to let people spend and promote Ghana as a destination.
Is it not because we have, like you said, you mentioned, you spoke about the facilities that are not there when you went to the the rural areas where we have all these natural reserves and all that, when people would want to go there. I'm glad you mentioned the road network, which is a key factor, because if it is not motorable, nobody can send a tourist there. But is it also the fact that perhaps government itself is not really paying attention? Yes, those of you in the Federation Association, or those of you who are on the field, you understand some of these challenges, and I am very sure that you have put out words to government officials who matter, who should do this. Is it not that the government is not really paying attention to the tourism sector as it should?
Well, I think it goes both ways. The private sector have a role to play and government have a role to play. It's why I'm calling for a stakeholder engagement dialogue, right? Because these initiatives, we came up with uplifting women in tourism, which is rebranding of Choba initiative, for example, which we need. It's a great initiative, but we need that support.
Government support.
And sometimes the timing in which things are done from the private sector perspective is a bit slow. So constant engagement with stakeholders, I think, can address some of these issues, as we go
right.
forward. Yeah.
Okay. Also, there are media reports that Accra, for instance, is becoming very expensive. Tourists are already complaining. I mean, the food, not even the fine dining food, but the local food, it's very expensive. And some have done those complaints. There are videos on social media saying, hey, when you're coming to Ghana, is it not deterring people from spending? Because if I am coming and I want to come and sightsee and also eat and all of that, or spend, and I come and it's expensive, I would rather I package a lot of canned stuff from my country and come, and then when I'm going, I'm eating on the way, because it's expensive to buy food.
Well, expensive for me is relative. What will be expensive to you might not be expensive to me, and so forth. Yes, but that is the perception that Ghana is expensive. But even that, if the customer service, it's about experience. It's about experience, right? You sometimes go to restaurants and you finish and you want to tip the waiter or the waitress good money because you are happy with the service. It's why at the Federation we think that we should have compulsory training and professional certification. So we will have a uniform service. Because, listen, you go to, when you come to Ghana, there are guest houses, 2-star, 5-star, but people still pay for the 5-star hotel. Why? Because they want comfort, they want quality. So, yes, it can be expensive, but if the service quality match that price, you won't complain. But often than not, the service standard is low.
And yet
it's expensive. Then you start doing comparative to this country and all that. So I think to address that is to train the workforce. Annual training and professional certification annually. So the workers will find themselves, in the whole, it's a collective
agenda that you want to set. But how serious this is the second time you are mentioning customer service. We all know, we experience this as Ghanaians every time. I mean, we know how, but how dire, how serious is it within the tourism industry such that it will cause tourists to just walk off instead of coming in to spend? How serious is it?
It is very serious, especially if you're a tourist and you travel around the world, so you can compare something. And the experiences you get elsewhere. And you come here and, of course, the thing is expensive and you are being treated like you don't matter. We have to treat them like kings and queens, and they spend money. So I think that this is the time also to create tourism asset. Like I said, wellness center and culture and heritage days. We should create activities that would drive spending, you know, across the country. Not just the food, exactly. We should create activity. Can someone comes here and 7 days, for example, that can go to different nightclubs, different, not the same thing, right? So these are areas that I think government to meet private sector. I mentioned tax incentives, or when you import items to build or to create tourism asset and facility, you should have some tax holiday, and then we can expand on these facilities. Yes, when you drive around Accra is changing. If you compare Accra 5 years ago, then it's changing. This is good. But we can do more by creating the experience that people will spend more money when they come to our country.
More money. Yeah, because when you go to places like Morocco, for instance, in the night, they have these chariots that would drive you throughout the streets and all of it, show you all the clubs and the restaurants and tell you this is that, all that. But we don't have that in Ghana. Finally, Mr. Ankrah, I know that within the tourism sector, the players there pay so much in levies and taxes. I remember there was a time that the Federation was pushing for some of these levies and taxes to be scrapped. What is the situation now?
Well, it's the tourism levy, for example, is a good idea. Other countries that have tourism levy you've seen their infrastructure have developed. And that is the same thing here. But I think we have gotten to a point that there should be proper usage, accountability, transparency. Is the money going to the sectors that is supposed to go in terms of tourism development, training, and all that, right? I think that conversation, the Federation is we're meeting and having come up with a paper and see how best we can utilize that. But for the levy, I think it's a good thing. Is helping Ghana, and of course part of it is being used to market Ghana abroad and all those things. So it's a good thing. It's a good initiative. Right. But we have to focus domestically, look and see which areas we can put some of this money there to help
to boost domestic tourism well.
And also the private sector who is leading tourism, to support them. Yeah.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Ankrah. I wish we can extend the conversation, but that's how far time will allow us. And that was President of the Ghana Tourism Federation, Seth Ankrah. There, we're discussing Ghana's international tourism receipts that fell by 10.14% in 2025 and dropping from $4.83 billion in 2024 to $4.34 billion in 2025. I'm sure we'll have this conversation again soon. And my name is Oye Walton Ankrah. We have run past our time, so all I'll say is that thank you for joining us and do have a good afternoon.